Welcome to Best Path Forward, where we talk about personal development tools that we use to find the best path forward in our lives. Today, I have Jeff.
What's going on?
Welcome to the podcast, Jeff.
Appreciate you for having me.
No, I appreciate you for being here.
Make time for the things that are important in life, and this is something that's important to you, so we'll do it.
We'll see how you feel at the end of that to see, like making time like next time. Like, I'm busy. Sorry, man. When is it? That day. But I'm busy that day. I'm like, well, actually, it's the other day. You'll say the same thing, like it's over. But you still want to come back.
Crazy enough, I'm also busy that day. Weird.
Oh my gosh, what a coincidence. So I guess the first question is, what's your story?
Well, I guess I'll start with a nice simulated 4 years back. So I ended up moving down to Columbus in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a choice.
That was, hindsight 2020, that was one of the worst ideas ever. But I also realized way back in the day, I always was someone who was just action first, think about the outcomes later.
Okay.
So we did that. I was making music full time at that moment. So I kind of figured, get out my small town, get into a bigger market so people can hear me. And then when I kind of got down here, I still loved making music, but ironically, it's the pandemic. So everything's closed. So I couldn't perform.
It was pretty early.
Yeah.
All right. So you moved down in what, January, February?
I believe it was like June 21, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Pandemic was in full force.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, we're doing music full time for quite some time. Made a lot of tracks, made a lot of albums, really, really loved what I was doing. But the issue was I was still, living that pandemic life. So on unemployment, not really, flourishing in life the way I thought I needed to be. So once I kind of started realizing how much music was costing and living in a bigger city, that's when I kind of was like, I need to find a job. I need to find something for me to, fill my pockets up, actually, fund my passion and be able to move forward in life. So started looking around, started trying to find what I really liked. I was really, really good at customer service. This is my previous restaurant experience plug, but I was a curb server at Swenson's Drive-Ins for
Swenson's.
Yes,
I've
sir.
heard of them. They got the milkshakes and the burgers.
I can still name off all 21 flavors if you ask me to.
Oh, say less. Let's go.
All right. Let's see if I got it. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, root beer, grape, cherry, orange, lemon, hot fudge, butterscotch, pineapple, key lime, coffee, mocha, mint, peanut butter, pineapple, banana, and root beer.
I got 20.
Okay, that's...
You said 21 though. There was a lot. I thought you were going to just do nice and slow for me. You said real quick.
Show business.
So you were working at Swenson's. You got a job at Swenson's when you moved to Columbus. And it's
before that.
Oh, before you moved to Columbus.
Yep.
And so you're working at Swenson's. And where did you move before Columbus? Where did you live?
Got you. So I'm from Northeast Ohio, so Kent. If you don't know where Kent's at, it's right by Akron. If you don't know where Akron's at, 30 minutes south of Cleveland.
There's a basketball player from Akron, so I recognize that name.
Yeah, Steph Curry, right?
Oh my God. You're going to get us canceled before we get a start. No, so I know where Akron is. I know where Cantone is. There's a Kent as well.
Yes, sir.
So Ohio has a Kent and a Cantone.
Yes, sir.
Lovely stuff.
Yes, sir.
That makes my Florida brain go a little crazy. So you were in Kent, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
Working at Swenson's, rattling off 21 flavors and milkshakes. Yep. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go down to Columbus.
Yes, sir.
I want to be a musician.
Yes, sir.
You get to Columbus and you're like, all right, I love being a musician, but I had to find a way to make a living because there's a pandemic going on. Can't really gather in large places. In June, I believe everything was kind of shut down at that point. So what'd you do?
So I started looking around, and when I mentioned my customer service experience, I really wanted to find something that can suit that and kind of, I can just go off those vibes of, customer service. So I ended up finding a startup company down here, and they hired me into their IT department. They were just building it out. So, it was one of those COVID darlings where it was contactless service, and they just flourished in there. But with it being in the space that they were, they needed West Coast coverage. So I ended up kind of settling on a 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. online customer service job for quite some time. And
your job started at 4 p.m.
Yep.
Most people are doing 8 to 4. You're like, let me just, when you guys are getting off of work, I'm about to start up.
Yeah.
So how did that work?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that sold me on a position was I was full remote. So I still was able to, work, take calls, do little chats, but still make music. So I was able to kind of concurrently do all the things that I wanted to do. But the only issue was 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I wasn't really going out, obviously, because it's still the pandemic. But I kind of, realized I couldn't do this forever.
Yeah.
Could not do that forever.
I can't imagine doing that for a day.
Yeah.
So let alone forever.
Well, yeah. I rewatched Game of Thrones during that time period, so that was one of the bright sides. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that happened, and I started just like diving deep into Reddit and like seeing all the crazy stuff that I missed before watching it. So that was the only bright side.
That was the only bright side.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask a controversial question.
Oh, okay.
It's about Game of Thrones.
All right.
All right. So great show until season 7,
Facts.
and season 8 was just
Terrible.
sad.
I blacked it out.
I blacked out from watching it. Like my buddy and I, he lives in Worthington, him and his wife and their kid, and we watched season 7 and season 8. We're like, well, that was a choice in it that way. That's tough. So did you watch season 7 and season 8? So that probably motivated you to get out of that job that was at 4 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Yes, it did.
All right.
Yep. So after grinding there for quite some time, I actually got promoted at that job to something, I think they called it tier 2 customer support or something like
T2.
T2. So that got me to the regular 8 to 4 lifestyle, which was like great because do you know how many Minnesota accents I had to talk to and like hear? So I was just like overhearing. I was just over it. You know
What's
what I'm saying?
Minnesota accent?
Thick.
I want to hear it. Can you do an impression?
If anyone from Minnesota is watching this, I apologize.
Oh, someone from Minnesota is going to be watching this specifically for this moment.
But Minnesota.
Oh, it's very sing-songy.
Yeah.
Oh,
were
sounds pretty nice.
They were honestly very, very pleasant, but
yeah.
you do not know the pressure of speaking to a soccer mom at 5. It's gonna be at like 8 p.m. when they have to get into an event and they're stressed because they're missing their child's event. Very stressful.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
So how did you manage their stress levels?
I think when it comes to managing stress, a lot of things like what I just did right there, you kind of want to take a breath, see what you're about to say, think about what you're about to do, and then act on it. If you have to think more than those like X amount of seconds where you like are questioning what the next outcome is, that's when you kind of can like realize what you're about to do is out of the realm of what you should do. You know? So just take it easy for a second, figure out the situation, analyze success, and then act.
You and I have that tool in common. I remember I first started using it when I heard a song back in the day called Breathe. I believe it was Fabulous.
Yeah.
The Fabulous Breeze, like, breathe. 1 and then the 2. 2 and then the 3.
Yeah.
3 and then the 4. Then you gotta breathe.
Yeah.
And then it keeps repeating. So I'm like, all right, something like triggers you. It's like, all right, you're in this timeless moment. It's like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, just breathe. It's like, start counting. If you get to 4, just like in the song, go back to 1.
That's it.
And sooner or later, you're going to get to a point where you're seeing things more clearly, not necessarily reacting from an emotional state. So I think that's a fantastic tool that you have.
Thank you.
Did it work on the soccer moms in Minnesota?
You know what? It did.
There we go. The breathing tool never fails.
Breathing never fails. At the end of the day, it's like one of the biggest customer service things that stay with me is like you want someone to leave happier than when they arrived. So it's like even though it's something that's very, very stressful to them, to me, it's like a normal situation that I can get them through, but they just have to be patient while I work my magic behind, you know?
You mean you can't give them answers immediately and they aren't demanding it? I mean, come on. Crazy. How unreasonable of you to not give them the answer immediately.
Crazy enough, I missed that day of work where I can...
Easy button.
Yeah,
just
where I
be
can
done with it.
Yeah.
All right, so you became a T2 at the startup company, and then I assume you became a T3 then, right? Then T4, T5. Terminator movie style.
Ironically, you say Terminator because I got laid off.
Oh. Now I feel like a jerk.
No, I don't feel like a jerk because it's all a part of the journey, you know? So I built up in my brain when that happened. Ironically, I got laid off right around Christmas.
What year?
2022. So this is like, I was there for about a year and a half. I thought things were going well. I thought I was going to work my way up in the company. And I believe it was Christmas. Yeah, the 21st, right around there, got laid off.
That is terrible.
Yes, it was.
All right, so what happened next?
Well, after that happened, I already was kind of working in a tech startup company. So I kind of started building up my brain where it's like, I see what people who went to school for, what they kind of know. Let me kind of start doing that stuff. Let me start learning that stuff. So I kind of really got on my grind, taught myself Python, taught myself a little bit of... Yeah.
I don't know. Like the snake?
So it's a coding language, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know I didn't know that. I taught myself Python. You don't see me throwing out legal terms to you. Like, it should have been like, I taught myself a software engineering software. It says software twice, because that's how my brain works.
It's all good. It's all good.
So Python, that doesn't sound easy. It sounds relatively dangerous, like an actual Python.
You know, I felt dangerous knowing that, because I was just like, this is never going to happen to me again. I'm never going to get laid off again.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset, where it's like, take this feeling and apply it moving forward. How this felt, because there was already so much crazy stuff going on in my life at that moment. And then when it happened, it was just like a gut blow. It was insane.
Isn't that weird? I assume the crazy stuff probably wasn't super positive.
Not at all.
And so you had like these crazy like life circumstances happening, and then life is like, here's a little more thing for you.
Yeah.
Here's a pink slip.
Like, take 2 more. It's like an Uno card.
I know. It's like, I got Uno. It's like, all right, just going to draw 4. You're here to take another draw 2.
Yeah.
And while now, wild card, someone turns into a draw 4 because people have their own rules for Uno. Exactly. And that's what happens. And so you had like kind of life chaos going on, and then you have like a job chaos going on, and you took that and you're like, let me learn Python, which is a computer coding skill. So what'd you do with that?
So ironically, I did nothing with that.
It learns to be dangerous.
Which is the craziest thing. So I really just kind of applied and tried to learn a lot of the stuff that the engineers were doing. But then another opportunity came along later on, probably like 4 or 5 months later on.
Okay.
And it was another kind of customer service role, but this time around, it was a entrepreneurship kind of role. So I was able to work with 2 other coworkers to build out a new role in a company. So it kind of, I believe I probably got hired on from knowing some of that coding skill, but it still was that customer service and me being able to sell myself that really got me on, you know? All
right, so this is like engineering type of stuff, Python and all that, coding, all that stuff?
Yeah, we'll call it engineering.
I don't know. I know it's not, I don't know, is it marketing? It's not marketing.
No.
Yeah, so I know it's not marketing. I know it's not the law. So it's like coding world, right? I'm thinking of like the codex and like the matrix to see the strands. And so there's a reputation out there for coders. The reputation is like they can sit behind a computer all day and make magic happen.
True.
Literally the technology that makes the world go round. They do that. But sometimes they struggle with interpersonal skills.
For sure.
And so you use the customer service experience that you had, starting with Swenson's, then going to dealing with the Minnesota soccer moms in your first tech role.
Yeah.
And then you use that on top of your coding skills to create a role for yourself at your current company.
At my previous
company. Your previous company.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how was it kind of being able to create your own role?
It honestly, so little backstory. I went to Kent State, and while at Kent State, I was a triple major if you want to count it. But I'm just a man of just, I have just, this mindset where it's like, do everything because you only have one of these.
Yeah.
So why wait around to try to go back? I was just like, let me do all of this.
So do everything because you only have one of these.
Yep.
That's a great quote.
I appreciate it.
Well, hold on. One of these means like one life, right?
Correct.
See, I'm smart.
Hey.
Let's go. All right. So do a little bit of everything. So Kent State, you had 2, maybe 3, 2 and a possible, as they call it in spades betting. But What was the third major? Or like, what are these 3 majors?
So marketing and entrepreneurship were my 2 majors.
Okay.
And then the third one was Pan-African Studies. But that's one of those where it's like, it's still my minor. It could be my major, but I would need to go back for like a class or 2. And
I was expecting to say something coding.
No, not at all.
Pan-African Studies.
I have no background in computer science at all. I was not a person who I didn't even enjoy my Excel classes in college. I didn't like it.
Yeah. And now you learn Python.
Total 180.
So you're currently in your role at your previous employer, created this role for yourself. What happened next?
So I listened to a podcast. I believe it was, I don't want to plug another podcast on here, but it was these 2 girls' podcasts. And one of them said something that was so like profound to me. She said, quit quietly.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So, a lot of people start working on whatever their boss is handing to them. I kind of took the total back route of that. LinkedIn offers like a bunch of courses where you can kind of learn stuff. So I started sitting next to my actual mentor at this moment. And I was just kind of picking his brain like, hey, what are you doing over there? What do you know? And he kind of gave me a little bit of information there. Once he kind of gave me that information, I was like, cool, let's see if I actually like this. Started doing a little bit of courses here and there, right?
Yeah.
and
got your feet wet a little bit.
got my feet wet a little bit.
Right.
Well, the person who I was dating at the moment, I was actually talking to her aunt, and she was basically saying like, project managers and people who know Excel will be in very, very high demand. You should learn that.
You should do that.
Yeah.
And so this is at the time you were dating, your girlfriend's aunt was like, you need to go learn Excel.
Exactly.
Because product or project managers?
Project managers.
Project managers know this stuff. All right.
Yeah, like it's full, you will always have a job. And me thinking like, cool, I never want to get laid off again.
Yeah.
I always will have a job. So that kind of was like my intro into learning that, the project management in Excel.
All right.
I'm sitting next to my mentor. I just listened to that podcast about Quit Quietly. Then she said, hey, project managers and people who know Excel will always be in demand. I get free LinkedIn learning courses. Cool. Let's make it happen. So I started just taking LinkedIn learning courses on SQL, a little bit more Python, learning R.
SQL, I assume, is not part 2 to a story here.
No, it's a query language for relationship database management systems.
Why is it called query or SQL?
SQL.
It's just because.
Yeah, I wish I knew the backstory behind it. I believe, I don't want to make up like a fairy tale, but I believe.
Why not? You don't have to make a fairy tale, but you started learning a lot more through LinkedIn learning courses.
Yep.
All right. So at this point, you never went to like Kent State for any type of coding
At all.
Not only did you learn Python and segue that into a job, you also got advice from your at the time relationships aunt, who told you to start learning all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And you were like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So then what happened? I just started learning SQL and prequel and Python and all, Cobra.
Crazy enough, I loved it.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the whole idea of like data as a career. Because again, customer service is something that I always hung my hat on, but now it's being able to make informed decisions based off of numbers and explain it to people how I arrived here, and then being able to present it to a large amount of people. It kind of, blended in me making music, my customer service, and just me trying to like push myself forward in life,
That's impressive. So I guess what's the big takeaway that you've learned?
In terms of like why I wanted to do all this stuff, or
Yeah.
So I don't mean to keep plugging podcasts, but
You should honestly say the name. I mean, this is a podcast.
Okay.
I mean, podcasts are obviously pretty important.
Well,
I love them. You love them. Let's give them credit.
Podcasts. Bigger Pockets Podcast.
Bigger Pockets Podcast.
Yes.
That's a really cool name.
It's a really cool podcast.
All right. So what's the story there?
So I started listening to Bigger Pockets Podcast simply because I always kind of figured in life, again, you only have one of these. I don't want to be 65 and kind of be looking around like, what can I do next? I have all this money, but my body is breaking down, et cetera, et cetera. So they started talking about the FIRE movement. FIRE movement.
Yeah.
Financial independence, retire early.
Financial independence, retire early.
Yes.
All right.
And
so what does that mean?
I feel like it means kind of exactly what they're saying. So financial independence would be simply, I don't need to like look at my money. I don't need money to be a topic of scarcity. I don't need to monitor my finances to the point where I get bogged down by all the minutia about it.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm good. My family's good. Everyone's good.
Everyone's good.
Yep. Retire early. That's right there. Retire early. So I have on my phone's background screen, 45 years old, I will be retired.
45 years old.
45 years old.
What are you now, like 22, 25?
32.
32? You're
Yes,
like
sir.
a baby. You're way younger than I am. All right. I like that FIRE mentality, and I like that mindset. I got a follow-up question, and it's going back to something you said earlier.
Sure.
You mentioned that when you got laid off, you told yourself this is never going to happen again.
True.
And now you have the whole mindset of financial independence. What does money mean to you?
Growing up, I guess a little backstory for myself. I come from a single parent household. My dad worked 3 different jobs to support 6 people in the house.
Oh my.
So it was like money was always a topic of, do we have enough to do this? Are we able to do this? Someone has to go without for someone to be able to afford something like that. So money was always a topic of just like, oh, we don't talk about money because it's just taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I assume becoming financially literate, like learning there's a lot out there. You had to do a lot of different readings, a lot of different books.
Exactly.
Aside from the FIRE thing, which is the financial independence and then retire early.
Yes, sir.
What other stuff did you start reading to start building up that, I guess, that tool of learning to be more comfortable with money?
So it's going to sound super cliche, but Rich Dad, Poor Dad was...
Never heard of that book. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was one of the first books that was recommended to me when I was listening to bigger podcasts. I was like, cool, let me see this. And then when I started reading through it, real estate was something that kept popping up. Like, this is one of those big things that can get you to the place that you want to get. That's really a part of the FIRE movement as well. Like having passive income off your actual rental income is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Being able to do that full time and basically segue yourself away from your current career if you don't want to work your current career. But I love my current job.
Yeah. I mean, you worked your butt to get off there. You learned Python.
Yeah.
You learn Cobra.
Yeah.
You learn Garden Snake. You learn SQL, prequel, query to the tertiary cool.
Yeah.
It's not a word, but it sounded cool.
It sounded awesome.
I think 3 of those are real. I'm not sure which 3, but I feel like I got 3 of them in there. Did I get 3 or 2?
You got 5. Let's call it that.
Oh, that's misinformation there. I know that some of those were fake until someone goes and makes them real.
Exactly.
So, Jeff, what's been, I guess, the most fun part of your journey so far?
Most fun part of my journey, brother, has honestly been myself applying a goal in life and sticking through it to the end. I think that was always something that I struggled with growing up, where it's like I would start a bunch of stuff, but I would something would pop in where I'm like, this isn't for me. I don't want to do this anymore. This one looks better over there. That's probably been the biggest goal of the whole thing that I learned, is just sticking through to the end and realizing that you have so much more potential if you just stay down and believe in what you're doing.
I mean, that begs a question. Why didn't you quit this time? What made you see things differently to actually see it through to the end?
So this time around, man, I realized when it came to the money conversation, my future self conversation, and then trying to grow into a better person, I kind of just melted all that together and realized it's I will not be able to, if I have kids in the future, tell them and show them the way if I'm not able to do this stuff myself, if I'm not able to see my dreams to fruition themselves. So that was the biggest switch of the mind right there.
It's how can I tell others to dream big when I can't commit to my own dreams myself?
Exactly.
So you got to walk away.
Yep.
Why not do everything since there's only one of these? I butchered that quote a little bit. What was it one more time?
You only get one of these, so do everything. I think that's what we said.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your quote. Is it your quote?
I just kind of talk, to be honest, but I say stuff, and some people like it, some people hate it.
Oh,
who hates it? I just say stuff.
No, actually, I don't want to know any names. Well, Jeff, once again, thank you for kind of telling us your story. Sure. It's moving from Kent to Columbus. It sounds like it's been a fascinating and rewarding journey for you. But enough about you. Let's talk about your homework. You had homework, didn't you?
I did have some homework.
All right. So the homework was, once again, to pick a certain date for the Bike Brain readings. So what date did you come up with?
It was January 1st, 2024.
So January 1st, 2024. All right. So beginning of 2024.
Correct.
Some might say the first day. And actually thinking on that, I think everyone would say it's the first day of the year.
Everyone. Yeah.
So what's the story? What's important about that date for you?
So after kind of all the crazy stuff that happened to me in 2023, while the ball was dropping, it was 12:30 at night. Drinks are rolling. Everyone's having a good time. I decided to write all my list of regrets on a piece of paper.
Oh.
All of them. Everything that I was holding back, every single thing that I was thinking about in life that I was not able to accomplish, and write it down, throw it in the fire.
You threw it in the fire.
I did.
So what was the experience like writing it down?
Powerful. I kind of felt like, this is everything in my life that I was bogging me back, my anxiety about stuff that I was not able to accomplish. And then realizing that tomorrow's a beautiful day if you look forward to it. So just got rid of it. It was like a weight off my shoulders, essentially.
So you wrote it down, and one of my favorite books is Simon Sinek's Start With Why.
Okay.
So it's 12:30. which means you had to stop before 12:30 a.m. on January 1st, 2024. Why did you start thinking about all your regrets and all the things you hadn't accomplished on a brand new year?
So I think it was probably just leading up to that. So I was in 2023, a lot of the crazy stuff happened. 2024 was just like my brain kind of catching up with what I have going on, and then realizing where it's like, I cannot get ahead in life if I'm still thinking about tomorrow. And once I kind of realized that, it probably was like 11:20 p.m. On the 31st, where I was just like, obviously, you know, drinking, I'm just like, this sounds good. This sound good? And I validated, does this sound good with myself? So here I am sneaking out to my backyard.
So you're surrounded by people.
Surrounded by
probably in the
people.
corners just like looking, and they're like,
yeah.
You're like, it's all good. You're sitting there talking, is this good? Is this good?
Yeah.
I can imagine the scene. So you snuck out to the backyard.
Yeah, and just started a fire and wrote all that stuff on a piece
there was
of
no
paper.
fire started.
Nah, Brand, I was a straight caveman. So imagine someone just sitting there locked in, just thinking about this. 40 minutes passed, and then finally I was like, I'm gonna do it. Got a piece of paper, wrote everything out right around when the ball dropped. Obviously gave a kiss to the girlfriend at that moment. And then made a beeline to the backyard and started my fire and just did it.
Did it. So what'd you do after you kind of threw that listen to the fire?
I breathed.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Probably one of
Took
the
a
cleanest breaths you had in a long time.
Exactly. It was just like you seem so much more lighter, I guess, at that point when you take all those anxiety, all those like moments where you're like thinking about, and you just kind of do something that's very, very dramatic, some people might say, but to me it was just like a triumphant thing where it's like, I'm not thinking about any of this stuff anymore. Let's move forward in life.
In a perfect world, those thoughts would never come up again.
Mm-hmm.
So have they come up since you put them in the fire?
No, not really.
None of them?
No.
That's impressive. I gotta start a fire.
Yeah.
Now I want to go burn some stuff, like papers, not like
exactly.
arson.
We don't do arson. We don't do arson.
We don't do arson.
Disclaimer: no arsons have been done or committed during this podcast.
That was too coordinated.
Come on.
No, I'm not. We're gonna get in trouble for arson.
Come on.
We're gonna get to the bike brand. That's all right. All right. So once again, you picked January 1st, 2024.
Yeah.
What I'll have you do is I'll have you read the bike brain as I kind of explain what bike brains are in case no one's ever heard of them before.
Cool.
So here you go.
Thanks, sir. Great picture, by the way.
I appreciate it. So bike brains are a tool that I use to help process the world around me. They're generally broken down into one of three categories. And I complete these entries Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but usually not on Sundays. Those three categories are mind, body, and spirit. Mind is about creating different mental rooms in your life. For instance, everyone has some room that they're dedicating mental energy to, be it the work room, the lifting room, the Python coding room, or the SQL training room. We are dedicating mental energy to those tasks each and every day, whether we choose to or not to. The next is body. Body is about taking a 360 holistic approach to your own physical body. And it's more than just calories in and energy out through exercise. It's about how you carry stress, your environment, how you get enough sleep at night. All those impact your body. And the last is spirit. And spirit's about diving in and reaching out. Diving into your own code of conduct to see what matters to you and what principles you live by, and also reaching out to others, understanding and realizing that we're not in this world alone, and sometimes not only do you need help, it's okay to ask for it. So Jeff, did you have a chance to read that?
I did, sir.
All right. So what I'll do really quickly is I'll just read this for those who are just kind of listening.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about it, so I hope you get ready.
I'm ready. Ready.
So once again, this is on January 1st, 2024. And this entry is mind. And the title is Peephole. Here we go, 2024. Many of us have grand ambitions as to what we want to accomplish. In fact, they could be so grand that there's a risk that we won't start because our mindset can't quite fathom entering the room where that goal is achieved. Break down the goal by looking through a peephole to the room you want to inhabit. In that room, break down the small things that you do see. Doing so will break down that big goal into manageable chunks. As you glimpse into that room, you'll know exactly what you need inside to fully flesh it out. That will align your mindset with those ambitious goals. January 1st, 2024.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to talk?
I'm ready.
Oh, what you got for people?
Well, I think there's one thing when reading that's entry for the bike brain that kind of stuck out to me. It's a book called Eat That Frog.
Eat That Frog.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's a whole book based off mentality of taking the tasks that you have laid out in front of you and knocking out the most simple task that's right there so you can kind of keep moving yourself ahead. It's literally about eating that frog because it's something that's so nasty that you keep procrastinating about doing, and it's not going to get done until you literally do it.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing that stuck out when it came to peephole, where it's like, if you see something in front of you and you know you want to get to that point, I, as a person, rather be sitting around someone who's tried doing something, is doing something, and fails than be around someone who just does not want to do it.
Jeff, I mean, failure is so scary, though. So why should I do anything if I'm going to fail or maybe fail?
Well, it's all about the maturation, I feel like, as a person, where no matter what, an expert had a day one. So failure is going to be a part of it no matter what you do. You can prepare not to fail, or you can simply just do it.
Just do it. And unlike the statement I said about 13 seconds ago, I actually don't mind failing because I'm taking action. And so during that time, I was remembering back in January 1st, 2024, I was starting this whole coaching program.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's such a big task. It's like people are looking to you to kind of help them personally develop. And so the whole point of like a peephole is to kind of like really narrow the focus, right? And so a peephole in the door is to kind of see what's on the other side of the door, just like in a little view. So say you're inside this mental room. And I'm like, all right, I'm inside this kind of coaching room. I'm like, what do I need to do in there? If you kind of put up a peephole, it's like, oh, I don't have to do all that right now. Exactly. I can just focus on, a cool program for these people. What does that look like? All right, I can kind of focus on that. I don't have to worry about like going out and finding people. I don't have to worry about like what they're going to do a month for. I don't have to worry about like 12 months of everything. I'm like, oh, just that one little thing. Let's get them started with just month one because everyone starts with month one. And so when I kind of use that peephole tool, it's like, all right, I can do that. It makes the impossible seem possible because impossible usually comes down to scale. If you look at something that's too big, it's like, I don't know. You think about like climbers climbing. I don't personally climb, but I imagine like mountain climbers. Yeah. They could probably look up that whole mountain like, oh man, it's so far. But they don't. They just have like little peepholes like, all right, I just have to get there. And then get there, find the next we have to get to. So it's a good way to kind of break down big goals into small, manageable goals. And I think you've done that since you came to Columbus from Kent. It's like, man, how do I get a job in coding? It's like, oh, that seems overwhelming at first. But it's like, let me just start small. Let me kind of learn, the first thing you learned was Python. It's like, all right, I can learn a coding system. It's like, man, how am I going to get a job if I don't have any experience kind of doing this? It's like, all right, let's worry about learning the skill first. And once I learn the skill, maybe something that was not even anticipating will kind of commingle to something great. Yeah. And for you, it was like, oh, I had this customer service experience where I can rattle off 21 flavors of milkshakes from Swenson's. I could talk to this Minnesota mom about 8 p.m. accident or event she's having. And then also I had this new skill set. And because you kind of focus not necessarily on getting a job in tech, but like, oh, I can control the things that I can't control. And right now, that is just learning Python. Life and universe has a way of making that work together. So I think people is a great approach to kind of taking things.
I want to build on something.
Oh, I like building. Let's go.
I think one of the biggest things about why I'm here doing this podcast with you is self-development. That was one of the biggest things when I said at the gym, like what kind of like stuck out to you of self-development. Why'd you start this podcast?
Why did I start the podcast? I think I got a glimpse of it, and that's funny because that's that word of the month. Two things happened. Yeah. And one happened back in June of 2024 that I wasn't aware was going to lead to this. And that's because I was running at that time, and I took a weird step with bad running shoes. And later I found out I tore my meniscus. Yeah. So I was like, all right, that kind of sucks. And so after that experience, I ended up having surgery in January of 2025. And in that time, you kind of know me because you and I know each other from the gym. I'm like, got this energy, got to do something with it. And so that kind of dovetailed with like the coaching experience. And coaching is great because you can help people one-on-one. Just like, hey, what are you doing? And the funny thing is, like, most of it's your own self-development and work. I'm just there as being kind of like, someone called me like their Sherpa. That's what one of the clients, I'm like, hey, I already know what to do. I just need someone to kind of like make sure I'm doing it. So I'm going to have you do that for me. I'm like, cool. But I was like, we had such fascinating conversations in the gym. And this is the second part that I realized. I call them between the sets conversations. It's like, oh, someone just lifted a lot of weight and they're sitting out tired. I'm like, hey, what's your word of the month? What's your story? You know me in the gym. And so like, the funny thing is, those were rarely, if ever, rebuffed. People would answer them because like, oh wow, I'm having a deep conversation while I'm sitting here and the body's working so the endorphins are flowing. I'm like, people that get up before dawn to go to the gym are coded a certain way. And so I was like, I want to hear more about that because I know they're crushing it outside of the gym as well. And they have these certain tools and guidelines and perspectives that they share. And I'm like, people should kind of hear more about this because it's fascinating stuff. You have fascinating stories. Everyone that I've met at the gym, I won't say everyone, I don't believe in 100%. 99.9% of them have had great stories about like, hey, I've overcome this. I've overcome this setback in life. And this is how I did. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I want to hear more about that. And so in that downtime of me recovering from surgery where I couldn't even drive for a week, I was like, looking at this room, I was like, let's see what happens. And so it's kind of like something that was a tragedy, me popping my meniscus. I mean, considering the cost of it and what it led to, I think it was a trade-off. Not that I'll pop my meniscus every time, but like because it happened back then and the encouragement that I get from people in the gym and their willingness to kind of open up and tell their stories, that's kind of what got started this whole podcast.
That's lovely, man, for real.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that.
Hey, there's always a method to the madness, and it's like we don't just do stuff just to do stuff, and it's like, I don't think you're doing this just to do it. There has to be a reason behind it.
Always a reason.
Always a reason.
You got to find the why. And once you hold on to the, yeah. Have you read Start With Why?
No, but after this, I'm going to make sure I like take all the book recommendations you have, because that's next on my list is David.
You haven't read Can't Hurt Me?
No, but it's in the, it is in the Amazon cart. Again, guys, I went on a crazy run of Bigger Pockets books, so I am just flying through those. But David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me book is in the Amazon cart.
I don't break the fourth wall a whole lot and speak directly to the camera unless it's like for a reason.
Okay.
He's gonna have to come back once he reads that book because
I will.
You know something funny about that book?
What's that?
I read that back when I was one of my buddies, Hayden, at the gym. I'm not sure if you ever met Hayden. You guys get there at different times. Mm-hmm. He recommended that book to me. And in July 2nd, 2021, I was sitting in a train station waiting to go visit my buddy in Cary, North Carolina, and I started that book. And it just sparked a whole next level of personal development. I cannot wait to hear what you think of that book.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So you're coming back just to talk about that book. I'm letting you know now.
100%.
I won't say you won't have a choice because it's being recorded, but
I don't have a choice.
I mean, your words.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
That was that lawyer influence, real quick. You're
Pretty
like,
much.
I didn't say this.
What did they call that? Like leading someone to coerce me into a statement.
Whoa. That's a hard C word. Well, coercion? I mean, a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, thanks for kind of diving into what the bite brain was. And I think we both have some great perspectives. Obviously, yours is better than mine because, coding stuff, and I don't have that knowledge.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
And I'm very unhappy right now that you just came and had the better definition of people. That was good, though. Well played. He's not going to deny it. It's fine. So, Jeff, you also had kind of a secondary homework. Do you remember what that was?
I do, but I'd rather you prompt the crowd just to make sure that I'm not just rambling about something, because I ramble.
Oh, I ramble too. And so part of like this podcast and part of the reason I started it is because I want people that are listening to kind of have takeaways. Mm-hmm. And because they have takeaways and find ways to kind of like just kind of take over life in general. That's how I did it there.
I love what you did there.
Yeah, just kind of take over life in general. It's like I want them to have a digestible, 3, 4, 5 step tool that they can apply in their own lives as soon as they listen to this. And so I believe you sent me a list of a lot of different tools that you use. And so I consolidated them. You want to refresh your memory on what those 3 were? No worries. I got your back. That's what I'm here for.
I typically like to overshare quite a bit of information because I want to make sure that people get a full rounded view of who I am as a person.
Absolutely. So here's your 2-page note, and here they are, 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you go whenever order you want.
Guys, I'm sorry. I feel like this is totally against the protocol of what he does.
There is no protocol at all. Well, the important part is that these are your words.
True.
These are the things that you said.
True.
So, I mean, I'm not doing any protocol. I'm just, doing my lawyer thing, getting ready for the conversation. That's all.
I feel it. So I think one of the biggest things looking at this list, one of those 3 questions that's sticking out to me is imagine what and who you want to become.
Imagine who and what you want to become.
Exactly.
All right.
So one of the tools when I was kind of thinking about who I wanted to be as a person in the future, someone mentioned that you should write a note to yourself.
Oh, say less. Hang on. We're writing this down. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
So write a note to your present self, future self, past self?
Future self. And a lot of the stuff when it came to trying to write a note to your future self is you start thinking about all the elements in your life that you are unsure of. And then you start kind of confirming it. Like, what do you want now that might apply in the future? So the segment around what I wrote through note 2 itself, excuse me, the subject, I should say, was to my wife, to my kids, to my family, to my business endeavors, and to myself.
So do you write this note every day, or is it just one time?
It was a one-time note.
So you already wrote it.
I already wrote it.
Where do you keep it?
Right in my note app. Yep.
Right on your phone, just so you won't burn it by accident. In case you want to become an arsonist again. Just making sure that's somewhere digital so you can have it.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like going to the first of the 3 tools that you're discussing here, or the first of 3 steps to the 1 tool you're discussing, and that is figuring out who and what you want to be.
Yeah.
And one way to do that is kind of write a note to your future self. So what does that do action-wise?
Well, action-wise, you kind of put your thoughts into the ether. I feel like a lot of people say is anytime that you have just thoughts swarming around and you want to be able to take action, you simply write stuff down. Again, people mentality.
Yeah.
And that was one of my biggest things where it's like, I know where I want to be at in life in the future. Obviously successful. That's just an easy way to say happy. That's a very easy thing to say. But it's also like, what would make me happy? What would make me successful? And then that's kind of being able to apply what I'm doing now and looking forward to the future. And that was like the biggest thing is like, imagine where you are now, what you are doing, and how can you get there in the future? Because again, 45, that is one of my magic numbers where it's like, no matter what, I'm going to make it happen.
You're going to make it happen. I believe in you.
I appreciate that.
So kind of one of the big things you have for the figure out who you are and what you want to be is that or imagine who you are and what.
Oh yeah, imagine who you are now and who you want to become.
So imagine who you are now and who you want to become.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And one of the coolest ways to do that is just to write a note to your future self. And it's like, hey, future self, like, how do you phrase it? It's like, hey, this is who you are. This is where we are currently.
So I don't think there's no certain way because there's different ways to skin a cat. It's really about who you are as a person and / how you write in general. It's not a set way to do it because every single person has a different way that they speak about themselves. And mine was simply just, hey, future. You're going to make it. You're going to be happy. You're doing these things now to lead to a really good foundation in the future. You're taking care of yourself. You're really, really locked in to the gym. So you're sharpening your brain. Your body's following right behind that. So it's all about just streamlining yourself and thinking ahead. And that was the biggest thing where it's like, you are doing this. You will be good. Just keep doing it.
I love that. And so kind of you created this room for your future self, like mental room for future self.
Yeah.
And in that room, it's someone that is successful, has a lady, has a kid, and then also is a gym goer. Yeah. And is also retiring at 45.
Yeah.
I like that you see that because like it's not like, hey, I'm going to be successful at 45. That's so vague, it's unenforceable. Like you can't do anything with that. It's like, what does successful mean?
Exactly.
And why is it important to me? And once I figure out why it's important to me, and I think you're pretty spot on with that. I think that's good stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
I think that's a freaking good first step. So what's the second thing you got?
So guys, again, it's one of those where I wish I had a sharp memory like our guy Dan here. I do not have a sharp memory. So do your own research on how to make it there.
Do your own research on how to make it there.
DYOR.
I could just start it, right? And I mean, if I don't know anything, I just don't know anything. That's okay.
You can, because again, an expert has a day one, so they just started. I mean, every single person in the future of like time has just started something. But if you want to be successful, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel.
So doing your own research is to prevent falling into the same traps that other people made.
Exactly.
And I think that's important too, because like, say for instance, your future self wants to be 30 pounds lighter or 40 pounds lighter. If you don't do your own research, like, I can just eat whatever I want.
Exactly.
It's like, cool, but there's this thing called like calories in versus calorie out. And then if you do your own research, you realize that not every calorie is created equally. It's like, say if you have like a deficit goal of 1850 a day, it's like, all right, 1850 calories, that sounds like a lot.
Oh, it's
like, it's not a lot at all. It's like, I need 200 grams of protein. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of calories in itself.
Yes, it is.
And so it's like doing your own research to realize like, oh, I can make smarter, more informed decisions.
Exactly.
All right. So how do you go about doing your own research?
So read podcasts, Chat GPT. I've been going crazy with that lately. And really just being around people that I would like to be more like, because they say your network is your net worth and vice versa. So that was like one of the biggest things where it's like, I want to be around a group of people who have a same mentality as me, someone who's not satisfied with just being okay, And that was one of the biggest reasons why I originally joined my fraternity, because I really, really wanted to be around people who were already successful.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about it was I originally was joining for like the networking side of things, but the brotherhood side of things that kind of like came along with it caught me by surprise. But it was like, it just took me back, being able to meet these people who I call my line brothers and be able to rely upon people that I met 2 months ago,
I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
And so you have a total of 4 line brothers?
Correct. I'm number 3.
You're number 3.
Yes, sir.
So, and it's takeover from my research.
My man does his research.
I did my research. I'm not going to ask the story about that, but I think it's fantastic that it's so funny, like you go try to join something for like, just networking.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I kind of found a family here.
Family, for
and
sure.
so I'm a part of like this organization myself. It's called The Gym. You and I are both part of it.
Yes, sir.
It's like a lot of people are like, I just want to go lift, and not realizing like the family communications. And it's like, hey, if you just hang around people that aren't doing the thing that you want to be doing, chances are you're not going to be doing that. You'll be doing the same thing that your present company is doing.
Exactly.
And so you saw that, raising yourself, and part of doing your own research is like, oh, my network is going to determine my net worth.
Exactly. And
not only with that, unless you found your fraternity, but your network also became your family as well.
Exactly.
So I think that's fascinating how that all kind of comes together.
Someone said it so well, and it's like, you will be ready when you are ready, but people who stay ready don't have to get ready. And I think one of the biggest things along this journey that's really like I'm very, very blessed for is I put myself in very, very uncomfortable / something that I was not capable of doing, and just trusted myself to see it. Again, trust yourself, see it through to the end, and get comfortable with the uncomfortable is something that just sticks out. I wish I knew where I learned that, because that is not a Jeff original quote. Get comfortable.
I've heard that before.
But yeah, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, and that was something where it's like, cool, I have to be able to do this. I have to be able to do this.
I
have to be able to do this, and that's the beauty of life. You just keep doing stuff.
So doing your own research is huge. I agree with you there. And I think it's important. I said it kind of facetiously earlier. It's like, oh, you could just go out and start. It's like, you could.
You could. Yeah.
But I don't also want people to think that you have to do so much research that you get into like analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
And so there's a counterbalance there. I'm not sure where I saw it, but I think it was there. Like, you can make a business decision with 70 or 75% of the information. Then you should be able to make a decision. So the same thing with like personal development endeavors. Like, take the same numbers. Like, once you have about 70 to 75% of the information, go ahead and get started. Yes, likely you're going to have to change along the way. Even if that original 75% of information proves to be correct or incorrect, you're going to have to probably adjust and change along the way.
For sure.
But you don't have to get 100. Like, you don't have to get an A in doing this. Like, this is your journey. You make the rubric. A doesn't mean like, oh, you have to know every little thing, because you're never going to. In fact, as soon as you start, you're like, man, I didn't know that. And that's okay. So I think that's an important step for doing your own research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, especially how I was way back in the past, where I was like, I can do all this stuff. I don't need anyone's help. And then slowing down and kind of realizing that you have a community of people that are around you that are going to steer you back into the right direction so you don't make the same mistakes as them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're allowing yourself to trust.
Yes.
And that's such a big thing where it's like you don't always have to wear armor. You can let people in. You can have people guide you in life. Asking for help is cool.
You know, the funny thing about that, when people embark on any type of journey, be it weight loss, weight gain, wanting to go back to get more education, it's like they want to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
It's like this shameful thing.
Talk about
It's
it.
like, man, I don't want people to know I'm doing this. And it's like, one, if you tell someone that you have this goal in doing this thing and they're not supportive, that kind of lets you know what place you kind of fit into your life.
Yeah.
Well, number one. Number two, if you tell people, they will probably have the like response of, oh, that's awesome. Either how can I help or how can I support you?
Yeah.
Like, not everyone has the same skill set for what you're looking to do at all. And that's okay. But the fact that they want to support you,
It's beautiful.
it's huge.
Yeah.
So I think showing that vulnerability is huge. And not enough people do that. I am the same way. It's like, no, I don't want anyone to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they're like, my friends are like, you idiot. Why?
Exactly.
You know? Like, even when I had to get picked up from the hospital from surgery, I was like, hey,
me again.
hate to bother you. But they say I can't drive home after the surgery. I'm like, oh, I mean,
What do they know?
I know. What do they know? You know what? Just because
Yeah.
I came out of anesthesiology. But, all right, anesthesia. Anesthesiology is the study of it, I think. But I was under anesthesia.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, I can't drive after that. But I even felt weird, like, asking people for help in that regard. I'm like, you need help.
You need
It
help.
happens. And guess what? They didn't let me down. And it's good. It's a good feeling.
It's a beautiful thing, man, where it's like you kind of, I was just telling someone this the other day, where it's like you gotta stop throwing around the word friend super, super casually like that, because a friend, in my opinion, is someone who's going to be there for you at your time of need, someone who's going to help you get to where you're going, validate what you're saying, but also tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
That need to hear part can be so tough, though, Jeff.
Yeah.
It can be so tough.
It's tough, but that's the people who I want to be around. Those are the people who I call friends, where it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not always going to like what they're saying, but they still have my best interests in mind.
Yeah.
Those are the people who I call friends. And those are the people who clearly you have in your life, man, who it doesn't matter, dude, that you just get out of surgery. They're there for you. And
They're there for me.
That's a beautiful thing.
Laughing at me because I'm like, blip, 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 blip. Anesthesia is a powerful drug, let me tell you.
I'll tell you, it is.
So you've had 2 great steps so far. So I just
Yeah.
want to recap them real quick. Imagine who you are and where you want to be.
Yeah.
First one. Second one is DYOR, doing your own research. You got one more for us?
Yeah, and this is something that I super, super recommend is seek help. It is okay to not be okay.
Seek help. I think that kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. I mean, if I'm not okay, I should just keep it to myself, right?
A lot of people do that. They bottle stuff in and then they make very, very rash decisions in life, which ironically, that's kind of what led me down to Columbus, where it's like, I knew I wanted to make something happen, but I just did something that was very, very rash, and I really didn't think about the outcomes. So that was probably, in hindsight, probably an exposure to me probably having like super, super high anxiety about life
Yeah.
and just doing stuff, you know? So the whole idea of seeking help, it's okay to not be okay, is being able to put your problems that you're dealing with on a piece of paper or talking to someone about it and getting it out there. There's no reason to bottle stuff up, because again, people go through stuff every single day in life. You can either be a cause of it to kind of, you know, let it keep going on, or you can help them face that problem with them, you know?
Yeah. It's like either it could be a pressure valve or a reason for the pressure to increase.
Exactly.
Like if you give them an outlet to help offload that pressure, one, that's going to make their day better. And 2, that prevents them from exploding on someone else.
Exactly.
It's like if you have an opportunity to just step up and save the day. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be a big thing at all. It be something small. You know, you see one of our good friends, Travis, at the gym.
Yeah.
He does this in small ways. Like he'll just go like move people's weights for him because he's like the strongest person I've ever met in my life. It's kind of annoying. If I could beat him up, I would. But he's just too strong.
He's just strong.
I know. And I just had surgery, so he's not hitting back. But sooner or later, that grace period is going to run out too.
Exactly.
But like, he saves people's day by like just helping weight. And so you see people like that are probably nervous to be in the gym in the first place.
Exactly.
And you see the strongest guy in the gym like, I got this for you. He's just like the nicest guy too. And so like doing acts like as small as simple as that, helping someone out and saving their day doesn't have to be this some gigantic thing. And I think a lot of times people will see their problems are so big and so like unique. I'm like, here's the secret. Chances are you're not the first person to go through that.
Exactly.
And I promise you, you will not be the last person to go through it. So be it via online, like via friends groups and everything, or real life connections. Like if you express vulnerability, chances are you'll be returned vulnerability because that person said, oh, I went through that, or I know someone who went through that, and this is what kind of helped them. And either they can give suggestions or just be someone there to listen.
Yeah.
So I think it's all right to seek help.
Yeah. And I think, we can take it a step further. The way I kind of came up with this whole principle of seeking help when it's okay to not be okay was, I think always through my life, I always had that mentality that I can do anything. I can do everything. I don't need anyone's help. I'm going to be fine, and that's just something that I carried with me for so long. And it kind of built up a antitrust. It kind of built up a willingness to open up to people, a willingness to share your feelings with people. And I lost a sense of empathy. I lost a sense of, emotional intelligence when it came to stuff. I just lost that sense. And that was just something, growing up. Again, I mentioned my dad, he worked 3 jobs. So I really didn't, get to see him that much.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people kind of lose that connection with their fathers or with their parent in life. Total opposite for me. I absolutely love my dad to death because he did what he had to do. But the way it affected me more or less was just when I was with partners. I wasn't able to express myself. I wasn't able to open myself up in certain ways, and that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn not necessarily like seeking therapy is a bad thing, but actually talk to someone to be able to like, hey, this part of my life is missing. And it all kind of goes forward to me talking to my future self, where it's like, if I have kids, I want them to be able to talk to me about anything.
Yes.
Feel like they can, be vulnerable, feel like they can be open. What they're going through, chances are I went through.
Yes.
So I want them to be able to come to me, and that was the biggest part of this journey. I probably can say that really, really has led me to this point of feeling comfortable.
And I think,
happy. Yeah.
I think it's important to realize too, like if your kids see like, oh man, dad's kind of going through something right now.
Yeah.
I can't really talk to dad. You're like, this is future you that didn't manage how to kind of control and show vulnerability.
Yeah.
You'll be like, hey, you can talk to me about anything. And it's like, but they probably won't feel comfortable doing it because they see that you don't do that yourself. So it's going back to modeling that behavior, the same reason why you want to see goals through now. It's like, oh, I wrote a letter to my at least 45-year-old self, which is like in 30 years for you, young behind. You wrote that letter to yourself, and like that's what you need to do. So you're taking like steps now to kind of create that mental room. You have these things, and seeking help, even if it's for an endeavor you've never done before. And showing vulnerability is a huge one. So it's like, how do I do this? And you start talking to people, it's like, oh, it could be a myriad of ways. It could be like, let me get professional help. Or let me just like have this really close friend, an actual friend that I want to talk to and just kind of dip my toe in the water. It's like, as soon as you realize there's not going to be a shark that's going to bite your toe off, you go a little bit further in. And next thing you know, you're just swimming in the water because you feel more comfortable doing that. And vulnerability begets vulnerability. So the more you kind of are open to them and vulnerable to them, the more they'll be open and vulnerable to you too.
Yeah.
So I think that's fantastic.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. So you've given us 3 great things. What are you going to call this?
I feel like tremendous rules of life. Representing my wondrous, the best fraternity in the world, I'll say that. I'm representing that loud, but yeah, tremendous 3 rules of life.
All right. So I'm just going to recap these real quick, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
And so this is Jeff's tremendous rule of life. The first one is imagine who you are and what you want to be. The second is DYOR, and that's do your own research. And the third is seek help, with the understanding of knowing that it's okay to not be okay. Jeff, did I miss anything there?
Nah, I think you summed it up real well, sir.
No, I appreciate it. And I Once again, thank you for coming on this podcast. I'm looking forward to you coming back after you read Goggins Can't Hurt Me.
I will, yeah.
And after we discuss other 12 rules that you laid out on your paper there. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited, man.
Nice. Do you have anything else to say before we sign off?
Well, quite frankly, guys, this is a wonderful opportunity to be able to explain how you are as a person and how you use the tools of development. And it's truly a wonderful thing that hopefully someone who's listening to this can take what I went through and apply it to themselves and use these things that I've laid out and make it happen. Because again, you only get one of these. Do everything.
You only get one of these. Do everything. I plan on using some of these, and I already know how I'm going to implement them too. So I appreciate you. I love running with these things, and these are just more tools to add to my arsenal. And I appreciate you sharing yours.
For sure.
Absolutely, sir. Well, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next time. Well, that was a blast. Thank you for watching and listening to today's episode. Chances are you're looking to embark on your own personal development journey. I'm not going to lie to you. True personal development is hard, and it's supposed to be hard. That's because you're not only changing who you are, but how you operate. The aim of this podcast is to give you a community of people that are striving to do the same. So like and subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, comment below on how you plan on using today's tool to find your own best path forward. We'll see you next time.